Hi everyone, this is Ashley with CT Marina Digitals. I'm going to do a tutorial on how to use my neon sign overlays in Photoshop. They are super easy. I'm going to do a bunch of different ones just to show you different ways you can use them or make them look better, more realistic. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to work on my first image. I'm going to be using the All-Star neon sign overlay with this image. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all, edit, copy, and edit paste into my image. And I'm going to go ahead and use my move tool and resize this and place it where I want it. Now obviously I don't want it to be pink for this image, so all I'm going to do is go ahead and go up to my hue saturation layer under adjustments. I'm going to click this to make sure that I'm only applying it to the overlay. And then I'm just going to drag the hue slider until I get the color that I want, which that looks good right there. I want it to match those blue balloons. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and select both of those layers and merge them together. I want to add blur to the sign to match, because I want it to seem as though it's back here with all of these props, and there's a significant depth of field there. So I'm going to go up to, I apologize if you can hear my puppy barking in the background. I'm going to go up to filter and blur, Gaussian blur, and you can just play around with this until it matches about the depth that your backdrop matches, or whatever you're trying to achieve with it. I'm going to do about, I think like 9.5. Press OK. And then if you want it to be, I want it to be a little bit more brighter. You can always add an exposure layer under adjustments. Again, create that clipping mask, and you can drag this till it's a little bit brighter. And now that you may have to adjust your hue again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to flatten these two layers, or merge those two layers. I'm going to do my hue again, and I'm going to adjust that. Okay, merge those two layers. And then my floor is reflective. You might not have to do this, but if this is a popular floor for cake smash sessions, or if you're using plexiglass, you can go ahead and duplicate that layer, and then click on that box, one of the boxes, and right click on the inside and flip vertical, and then you can just grab it and drag it down to match. Don't leave a big gap, because that's not realistic. That's not how it would be. It would be butted right up against that, reflective on the floor. And then you can either leave it on normal mode, or you can change it to overlay. I do both. It depends on your preference. And then I'm gonna lower the opacity on that until it kind of matches the reflection of the other lights in the backdrop. And then if you want, you can blur that one a little bit more. And then I also create a layer mask on that. Use my black brush at about 30% opacity, I would say is good. Soft brush, and then just feather that in a little bit and get rid of it up there, so it kind of just fades out. And that's it for that one. Let's flatten the image before and after for that one. Super cute. Okay, on to the next. I'm going to use the Gone Fishing one with this backdrop, and go over select all, edit, copy. So some of these are made to go on the floor, some of them are made to go on the wall. This one is made to go on the wall. Edit and paste. As you can see, you can't really put it on the floor because of the text of the G. Now the white ones, I didn't make the reflectiveness too much on these, because it can be it's much easier to add more and it's harder to get rid of it without also lowering the opacity of the letters themselves. So first thing I'm going to do is duplicate this layer because I want it to look, it looks way more like a sign now. I'm going to merge those two layers. And then I'm going to add blur, again, to match the depth of my backdrop. Do about 8. This one's pretty blurred. Let's see. 8.6 there. And that's literally all I'm doing for that one, guys. Like, it's super easy. If you wanted, you could add like a chain or a thing here if you wanted to make it look like it was like hanging, but I'm happy with that. If I wanted, I could maybe lower the opacity just a little bit to make it look like it was behind the net. But I don't want to do that. That's all I'm doing for that one. I'd be happy with that. On to the next. I'm going to do this one with this one. Obviously, I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to select all, edit, copy, edit, paste, resize. And these are nice big layers, or files. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to change the color first. I do not want it to be purple. I'm going to go up to my adjustments, hue saturation, create that clipping mask, and I want it to be an orange. That's good. Merge those. I want to blur again for my depth. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Not as much as the others, because he's not as far away from the backdrop in this one. Okay, that's good. Again, I have that reflective floor, so I'm just going to duplicate that layer. Click on the bounding box, right click, flip vertical, and drag. Change it to overlay. Lower that opacity. I'm not going to add blur on this one. I'm okay with it. I am going to, however, drag that down a little bit more. There we go. Create my layer mask, 30% opacity. I'm going to brush it off here. Done. Flatten image. So easy, guys, and it looks so realistic, and it's adds such a good it's such a good addition to your images. Especially if you forgot sometimes, like I do via Cake Smash session, and you forget to put your light in. These are very helpful. Okay, so I am going to do a couple different ones for this one. There's a little bit of reflection here, but it kind of looks like he's floating. I wanted to add a little bit of depth. So I'm just going to select all, edit and copy and paste into my image. Resize. I'm going to put it about like right here. I want it to look like it's kind of like up against the wall, or a little in front of like the end of the wall would have been like right here. Okay, and then I'm going to go up to filter and blur, Gaussian blur. I'm good with that. Duplicate, flip it, drag it, lower the opacity, and I don't want to brush this one off too much. Okay, super cute. Super cute dimension added to, actually I want to move them up a little bit more, so I'm going to select both layers. Move them up a little bit more. Adds a super cute dimension. Or you could just use, I have numbers. So the 2 through, I think I have 2 through 10, and then like by 10s to 100 from there. Just for like, they're just like a bonus for other occasions if you're wanting to use it for other backdrops, or like to put together your own numbers. Select all, copy, paste. And same exact thing. Actually, just going to get rid of these ones real quick. Gaussian blur, duplicate, flip vertical, drag, lower the opacity. I'm not gonna change the blending mode for that one because I don't really need to. Brush off, done. So cute. Like if I duplicated that, it would be a lot brighter. I actually kind of like that too, but I don't want it to be too much brighter than him. So you could even duplicate it and then lower the opacity on the second one a little bit. Okay, on to the next. I have this one with my little donut. Okay, so I'm gonna select all, edit, copy, paste, resize, put it back here with all this stuff. I want to change the color, so I'm going to go up to adjustments, hue saturation, create that clipping mask by clicking right there. I want this one to be, I want it to kind of match my twinkle lights, which my twinkle lights, I have those overlays in my shop as well. Those are very helpful for Cake Smash sessions as well, if you don't want to mess around with the twinkle lights before your session. Okay, I'm going to merge those two layers, add my blur. Good with that. I have that reflective floor again, so I'm going to duplicate, flip, drag, lower my opacity, change my blending mode to overlay, create my layer mask, my black brush, brush off. Now these lights are coming all the way up here. I'm going to leave a little bit more than I usually would. There, done. I can't get over how simple these are to add so quickly. I'm actually gonna undo my flatten image. It's a little bit, I'm gonna merge these. You can also you can use any layer on these, but I'm gonna do hue saturation again, create that clipping mask, and I'm gonna lessen the saturation on that just a little bit. I didn't want it to be so bright orange. Okay, done. Is that it? No. Okay. My one in a melon I'm using on this image. So I want this to be on the floor, so I'm going to just split it up. I'm going to use my marquee tool, and I'm going to select this part, edit, copy, and paste. So it's going to be two separate layers. I'm going to do a melon over here. And then I'm going to select my one in, edit, copy, and paste. Make it the same size. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and merge these two so they become one layer. And I need to brush off, see, when I copied it the way I did, it kind of created this line right here. So I just want to create a layer mask on that and just, I'm actually going to do 100% and just brush it off so it fades like it normally would. It's also on her. I don't want it to be on her, so I'm going to brush it off of her. It would obviously be behind her. Okay, I'm going to add my blur first. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. That's good. I want to change the hue just a little bit. Create that clipping mask. And then I'm going to lower the saturation just a little bit. Okay, merge those layers. Duplicate. You got to make sure you click that box. Flip vertical, drag. See it, I don't know if you caught that. Hold on, let me go back. See when I flip, that's why it's important to get it on the same plane, and I didn't. This is good that I did this, because now I can show you how to fix it. See how this is lined up, this is not. That's because I didn't line it up properly. So I'm going to go back up before I merged my layers, and I'm going to make sure that they are in line with each other. Okay. Merge again, create my layer mask. Brush off that line. Excuse me. Brush off of her. Add my blur. Oop, to the layer, not the layer mask. Okay, I'm actually going to crop this in just a little bit. Make it match. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do my hue and my saturation. Okay, merge those. Duplicate again. Now I'm going to flip it. Hopefully I have them in line this time. Drag. There we go. Okay. Lower my opacity. Change to overlay blending mode. Create my layer mask. 30% opacity. And brush it off so it fades. Done. So cute. No, I keep saying that, but it is. Okay, my last one is of my puppy, and I'm going to use both of the color and the white together. Okay, so I'm going to do my white one first. Select all, edit, copy. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do for this one. Paste. Now this one is white, so you can't really see, it doesn't really look like a sign very much, which is what I was telling you about the duplicating the layer. Adding, merge those, add some exposure to it. Merge. And now I'm going to grab my color. And resize that to match. Okay, and change the color. My lights here. I'm actually going to grab that color. So I'm going to get my brush, hold down Alt on my keyboard, and grab that orangish color. I'm going to go up to my hue saturation, clipping mask. Maybe I won't paint it. Maybe I'll just do this. Yeah, that was way easier. Just do that. Okay, and then I'm going to merge all of them and duplicate it again. Lower the opacity on it just a little. Merge them again. Go up and add my blur. Duplicate. Flip. Again, you might not have to flip. I just have that reflective floor, so I have to duplicate and flip. Overlay blending mode, lower the opacity. Create my clipping mask. Brush off. I merge those. I'm going to change the hue just a little bit. Create that clipping mask. I want it to be a little bit more yellow than that. There we go. Done. Whoops. Before. After. Super, super easy to use them, and they make a huge difference. If you have any questions, you can message me on Etsy. If you are a studio photographer, I have a studio maternity photography group on Facebook, but I think I'm going to be changing it soon to broad, just studio photography. So if you'd like to join that, the link is in the description under the listing.